Hey guys, we're back on a mission to get more science, very close to the next tier. Let's see what else we've got here, and just in terms of science, I'm not really interested in money right now. We've got quite a bit of money going on. That's 9, 7, 72, wow. See how difficult it is though. 20, oh, that is a very brief window. And, well, that's quite lenient in speed actually, but 72, I don't think we can pass that up. 17, 6, nothing. 27. Landed. Fucking doing that one. Okay, this is 6. 27. Landed. Perfect. Very, very cool. Okay, those ones look pretty good, so let's try them out. Do the landed ones first, because landed is really, really easy. Actually we haven't got our test vehicle anymore, so what do we actually need to test here? The landed ones, hydraulic detachment manifold, and the Rockomax brand decoupler. So we don't actually need anything too fancy for that. We can probably just make some of this. Wait a minute, I think we actually, do we need a Kerbal to even fire this stuff? Oh, maybe not. Let's just try like that. Hydraulic detachment manifold. Just put a few more of these on top of each other. Like that. Hydraulic detachment manifold. And we'll just attach one of these onto it as well. Simple as that, I think. Don't you want to go vertical for me? Obviously not. Shouldn't cause an explosion on this thing, I don't think. Oh, let's just put it there. Can we just rotate it? Thing just doesn't want to do anything. Okay, let's just put a fuel tank on it, just to make it look pretty cool, and we'll just make sure there's no fuel in there, so hopefully that will reduce any chance of explosions. Okay, the next one, hydraulic detachment manifold, was that? And it's this one, and that's the engine, and then the Rockomax brand decoupler. Okay. So decoupler, could just put it on there. That's a bit of a silly design. Let me rather put one on the side here, and we'll put this guy on there. Can we? Give me a hard time, Kerbal. Just don't want me to do this, do you? Oh, there we go. Cool, so we can test those two there in separate stages. We shall call this the tester, or no, the abomination. Yeah, that just you'll have to forgive me if there's any typos there, but yeah, let's get this and get our science. Actually, before I do so, I think I want to stabilize the balance a bit here, because that looks a bit unstable. Just give it a bit of a base. I should have just quadrupled it, hey? Let me do that. Just to give it a bit of stability so it doesn't fall over, because that looks like quite a bit of weight. Okay, abomination, let's see how you go. Warning, no control. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So we have to stick one of these guys on here. You should be safe, don't worry. Nothing can go wrong. Famous last words. Cool, so we look pretty stable there. Looks like everything is going to be easily testable. So let's do the first one. Woohoo! Great. Science. I wonder what they actually want to learn from that. Just to test if it works, you know, we're doing R&D right here, or what the hell? Boom! And it still bloody explodes, even though there was no fuel in there. Trust everything in Kerbal just to explode for no apparent reason. Fantastic, and we've got launch. Let's just make 100% sure that we've got. Actually, we can't get back in, but crew report. Yeah, and I'm sure we've done science on the launch pad. Cool. So there are the results. Got 100% recovery, and we got no science for that, but most of the science was actually from the experiment itself. So check if there's any new ones landed. That's kind of not so bad. We've got 5 years to complete it. Send us space data, or spend data from space. I think we're going to grab that one, hey? Because we're going to do it eventually anyway, just automatically in 5 years is fine. Okay, there's another landed one, and it gives us 27 science. Whoa, keep these coming, man. Landed, 48 science. Oh boy. So view over Fervin, any other landeds, or any other ones with large science quantities? I think we've got the best ones there, so let's do those two on the Abomination. Right, Abomination. We're gonna get rid of that. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Let's dual you up here. Well, let's quadruple you up, so we've got 4 testing things. Okay, then we want to test those 4 thingy-mabobbies. So, science not going to do right now. Jet engine. Well, we'll make the propulsion downwards. That should reduce any kind of... Are they all engines? Yes, it does look like that. Okay, so they want us to test this little guy, right? Test a basic jet engine, so that one. Wow, I didn't realize basic jet engines were so large. Is that really how they were in the previous updates? Let's go 2. Can't you go 2? No, you want to go 4. Let's go 1 then. 1. Thank you. Okay, so we'll put you there. Also give you limited fuel, so we don't burn you for too long. In case something goes terribly wrong there. Basic jet engine and rocket max 2477, which is this guy. Tiny little engine, eh? Let's just rotate you downwards so that you don't cause any problems. Cool. Can we adjust thrust here? Yeah, thrust at 15. Abomination, give us science! Cool bananas. He's got nice little particle effects going on there. It wants to activate all the engines at once. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm just going to move this one down so we can get a bit of a controlled burn first, and I'm going to throttle you down to like next to nothing. You don't have air intake. But that still counts as science. Okay, so we need an air intake on that, must remember. Let's fire up the next guys. Let's put the throttle down just in case. Those are quite cute little engines. Very cute. And they use liquid fuel, so you could kind of use them as like mini RCS guys, I guess. Interesting. Cool. That's another one done. Another 48 science. Wow, that was really, really great. 2 down. And how many more to go? Kind of just want to get the science, or enough science to get us into orbit, so we can start doing some orbit tests there. I mean, like a relatively stable orbit. Sure, we could get in orbit now, but I want to be stable, and I want to have science equipment up there that I can use. This will make our experiments very efficient in terms of fuel. Okay, what are this little one? Let's start with the small guys. The probe, so I could put that on instead of risking Kerbal's lives. That's quite nice. Inline reaction wheel, and then that large fuel tank. We wanted RCS, I think, so RCS was here, wasn't it? Yeah, but it's not the good ones. I have a feeling the good ones are elsewhere. Okay, well, let's get this fuel. See if that maybe gives us better RCS. Well, these are giving us... That's a Clamperton docking port. Adapter... Oh, there we go. Docking ports. That's 160 science. Yeah, still nothing in the way of RCS, or at least the good ones. Jet engine could be nice to have. 90 science. Oh, let's just blow it on jet engines so you can see where the RCS lies. Give us a broad view. Is the RCS thruster? Yeah, there's one. Do we not have the quads? Nope. Quads are elsewhere. What is this? That's another model imprint. Okay, so these are all 160. Got 32 left, which is not enough to get these guys. Okay, awesome. We're making some progress there. Let's have a look here. What we've unlocked. We still need to test this guy. This guy has quite a bit of science, isn't he? So he is. Now, do we have to go to the contract screen to see? To get him 21k's up. So we're gonna need to just save this guy and then load our tester V2 maybe. This guy, I think he could actually get up to 22 quite easily, couldn't he? Unfortunately, we'll have to stick on the engine. What engine is it? It's a small guy actually, so that's not bad. We could probably do it. It's tiny. It's actually very tiny. Wow. Okay, let's put you on symmetrically. And we will put you on your own little staging thing so that we don't accidentally activate you when we shouldn't. Okay, tester, let's give this a go. Cool, ready to launch this guy. Sun is up so we can see nice and clear. Let's get going. Okay, we're on the orbital screens. That's the right one to have. And we're kind of looking for apoapsis 22k's as far as I remember. Just be 100% sure. Yeah, so below 22, between 21 and 22, so it's quite a precise apoapsis. Unfortunately, I hope these solid rocket boosters won't get us higher than that. No, it looks like we'll be fine. Let's just hit that. Need to just get a little bit more. Fuel won't be a problem, that's for sure. Speed. Speed looks fine too. Not sure when we actually reach that though, because we might need to accelerate a bit. And then fire these, so let me bring it down to there so I don't fire the parachutes by accident. 21, we need to keep going. Speeds drop down, we need 260. What is the actual height right about now? Okay, our height is pretty much where we want it to be, so let's bring it down a little bit. Try and get a bit of a vertical vector. Altitude is fine, so let's bring it straight down to 19 now. It's just the speed we need to worry about. Oh no, altitude. Come down. Come down. Altitude. Our speed is good. Altitude just needs to be hit. Okay, let's just try not to get too much speed. Give ourselves some fuel to play with if we need any corrections. But it looks like we'll be above 260. Coming down now. Got a short window which we can fire this thing. As soon as this gets ticked, let's hit spacebar. And there we go. Perfect. You can see these little guys fire. We're heading into the ocean there, that's not too great. Let's try and see if we can get a bit on land, but I don't think we're going to be able to correct ourselves too much. Oh my god! The controls on this plane are not friendly. I should actually change those to now winglets, so I have better control, because these stationary wings don't actually give me much control at all really. Okay, we're going to run out of fuel soon. But the engines had their limelight, and I think that was worth 70 science, was it not? 72. Amazing. Okay, let's hit the parachutes and just accelerate a bit down. We need to worry about when it's about 500 meters, just in case something goes weird with the physics. But yeah, everything has gone smoothly so far. Famous last words, I guess. Okay, it's actually... well, sea level, there we go. That's why. This terrain, altitude terrain. I wonder what that means. Really not sure about that one. Nice small craft, so I don't think we'll have any problems with Yes, there was like 0 signs from that guy. Don't think we'll have any problems with falling over and damaging ourselves, but yeah, who knows, huh? Could happen. Got some bits here and there. Those are probably our flags that we left. Cool. Now try not to fall over too much and break yourself. Great. Great stuff. So it looks like that height is pretty safe. Let's just rotate ourselves a bit. Can we in this water? It doesn't look that way. The weight's weird, huh? Can't do anything about that. Observe mystery goo. Do we get anything there? 0.9. Better than nothing. Let's do observe the bay. 2. And I doubt we're going to get much from the EVA either. Let's just give it a try. 3 signs, that's actually the most. And maybe a surface sample too. Surface sample, 3 signs. Okay. Get back in there and recover. Great. Mission success. Yeah, that was... it's 99 signs. Oh yeah, it doesn't actually show the contract. But yeah, we're sitting at 114 now. That's fantastic. Anything else we want to unlock in the 90 tier? It's thermometer there, which allows more experiments. Nothing too mind-blowing. We could get these for the winglets and give ourselves better control. These... no. So it looks like the best RCS we have. Well, it's only RCS monopropellant engine. That one's liquid fuel. It's strange, they give us an RCS tank here, but only liquid fuel engines. What is this? Battery. Photovoltaic panels. Wow. Okay, those are solar panels, I guess. I wonder if we need to go down here to see it. Could get a thermometer. It's only 90 science. Is that going to be the best that we can get? Best amount of science. I want to get an orbit. So, orbit. We've got this fuel thing which should get us an orbit pretty damn easily. So anything else that we get now will just kind of be a bonus. Maybe I should get these winglets just to help us out on the ground. Got 69 left, so I can only really afford these. It's nice to have the 800s, so we don't have to have too many of the smaller tanks. Okay, cool. And this one unlocked what? Ah, there we go. So fantastic. Unlocking that one gave us the quad monopropellants. So that's definitely one we want to get. Cool. Well, I think it's about time we got to orbit. So this is quite an excessive orbit vehicle, actually. We only really need that for when we're in orbit. So it's going to be a little guy. So let's put on the 45 there. Or actually, we've got these little guys now, which are actually great in space. So put that on for space. This is kind of going to be our lander. So have we got legs? I think we did get legs. Yes, there's some legs. So now we can actually start building our little moon lander. This can be used when we actually do get to the moon as well. So let's start getting it ready, testing it, everything like that. Great. So we're going to call this one the lander. But we're kind of going to build it all in one, so maybe we should call it the launcher and lander. Launcher plus lander, great. Okay, parachutes, everything's there. We've tested this before. We can even put on solar panels now. Ooh yeah, this is getting cool. Which will mean just extended times we can spend in space without having any kind of power drain or power issues. The only thing that we don't have, I think, are ladders. So getting back up to this will be nearly impossible. Well, I think it will be totally impossible. except for if we're on the moon. So yeah, something really to consider in the future is ladder. But that's actually high tier, eh? Yeah, the science of ladders is technical, I can understand that. Totally should be in the high tier science. Okay, cool, so that's our lander. Now we're going to put on... Okay, we've already got our nice little delta V thing here. We're aiming for 4,500 to exit the atmosphere. Delta V. I'm going to put one of these engines on for a bit of stability. Then we're going to put stages on the side. I think we'll have to have minimum 4 stages. I like these guys because they're kind of compact, but they make getting spaghetti formations of fuel quite a mission, because you know they don't leave much space for you to see where you're putting your cables. Why don't you want to go on there for me? There we go. Is that nice and symmetrical? Is that even on the thing? Hope so. Let's grab it and see. You will allow me to grab that, right? Let me just grab this and re-put it on, just in case there's a problem. Let's put you in the center there. So I've had so many problems with this. It's being directly attached to the fuel tank. Yeah, I see there, it was actually directly attached to the fuel tank. We've got a bit more leverage now. Okay, let's put another one on the bottom. And then these guys, we're going to use the T30s because we don't really need too much control. They're just going to help us boost up. What are we sitting at delta V here? 7.8. That's actually enough to get to the Mun. Yeah, so we'll definitely be finished this stage when we're out of Kerbal. That's all in that bracket there. We're going to fire those, and then we're going to fire that one completely at the end. If we want to be more efficient, let's just have a check here. So 7875. Fire this engine with these, and we use our new fuel guys to make sure that the middle one is constantly filled up. I want it to connect like that, so you see the arrows going in towards the main tank. Sorry, I don't actually dare shift. So arrows are pointing inwards, so that means that it's going to feed fuel into the main tank, so when these are jettisoned, the main tank will still have fuel. And yeah, that unfortunately did not change our efficiency at all. It's rather strange, actually, because I thought it would have quite a big effect on our efficiency because we're burning far more rockets. Let's just see here. If I move this back, yeah, there's some weird stuff going on here, that's for sure. Okay, we want that there. This engine is not being counted. Okay, there we go. So that's 7.8, and then we put it with here. It should definitely, yeah, it does affect our delta V there. Well, not our delta V, our thrust to weight ratio. So we have a better thrust to weight ratio in the beginning, and it does not alter this stage, which is actually true. So yes, this is actually calculating correct. Just gives us better thrust to weight ratio in the beginning. Okay, when is this thing engaged? That's there. So we kind of want those to be at the same time. Staging is always important to check, and it's often the thing I forget because we're firing all those engines. Fins, we got some nice fins for us. We might as well use them. These guys, let's put them on there. That'll give us some nice control in the altitude, in the atmosphere. And just for prettiness sake, we'll put little caps on these guys. Where are you? Caps? Where are you, caps? Ah, probably here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That looks pretty good. Other thing thought we might want to add are any more science things that we might have picked up. There's a rechargeable battery pack. That's quite nice. Is this the small guy? Yeah. I think I'm going to shove him on the top here. Give us some more battery life. In case we need to send emergency science back home. We got some nice lights too. That'll look good. Let's put them up here. Very handy for landing on the moon or dark places. so you can see kind of when the land's going to come up to meet you. And what else we got here? We've got comms. No, we don't have any more signs. I thought we had some thermometers or anything, but that looks pretty good. Really like that one. And this guy's objective is to get into orbit. So why don't we go to the contracts page and just make sure there are no more contracts we can complete while doing this in orbit. Flight over Kerbal. Too specific. I'm not going to do that right now. Flight over Kerbal. Actually, we're just going to look for science ones. We're not even going to bother with money right now, are we? Flight over Kerbal, liquid engine, trajectory. What? Rescue. We're stuck in orbit around Kerbal. You know, that's a great one to have, but without RCS, it's going to be difficult to intercept with him. Because otherwise you'll have to turn your entire spacecraft around every time you want to decelerate or accelerate. Ooh, 72 science. Testing this liquid fuel engine orbiting, which is exactly what we're going to do. Did you know we were going to orbit? Yes, you did, didn't you? Parachute flight over Kerbal. It's quite low. Flight over... Oh, we could do the Sepatron. 16 to 18 Ks. It's pretty specific, so I'm going to skip that one. Orbiting. T R1. I think we've actually got that on our spacecraft. So I think that is doable. Give us some money. Not much science though, but anything's helpful. And that is this one, correct? Pretty sure it's that guy. It's in structure. Yes, great. So we're going to test that guy while we're in orbit and get some more money.